Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Lee. We're live.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Well, I am Kristin Gutierrez, your host for the Confident Leadership Series. I am a best-selling author. I'm a vice president of sales and marketing at Language Network, and I absolutely love Thursdays at 8:30 Pacific. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by you, Lee Densmer. So why don't you tell us all about you, and then we will kick this thing off.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much you want to know about me, actually, but let's see. I am a content marketer, which means that I focus on helping B2Bs put together content that draws in attraction and revenue. And I haven't always been a content marketer. We'll talk about that in a minute because it relates to the topic. But I have 23 years in the localization services industry, which is the best industry ever. I have a background in writing, in teaching. I'm a world traveler. I speak Spanish, so I'm all about global. And there you go. What else, Kristin?
I love it. I love it. My favorite picture that Lee has shared on the internet is you on your dad's back on that motorcycle.
So that is classic, and it tells my whole story. We were in Peru. I was born in Peru. My parents were there working. They weren't missionaries or anything like that. They just got a job and got the chance to go there in 1968. My dad's a motorbiker. The picture is of me as a baby in a backpack on the motorbike. Nobody's wearing helmets. Who puts a baby in a backpack on a motorbike in Peru? Like, and where was my mom? Like, where was my mom?
Sure.
Yeah, she was taking the picture.
I love it. I love it. You have to share that one again soon. Okay. So today's topic, upskilling fast, keeping yourself current. Ooh, this sounds so like, I can't wait to dig into this, right? So when we say that, what comes top of mind for you?
Yeah, most industries move so fast, and employees need to keep their skills current so they can effectively do the job, so they can get promoted, so they can get good performance evaluations, so they don't get left behind. And I think a lot of people aren't proactive about upskilling, and that's a problem in your career. So in other words, some companies give you opportunities to upskill. They give you a budget for education. They let you attend conferences, but that is not the same as a proactive approach where you kind of take your career by the horns and do your own upskilling. And I think that's everybody's responsibility. Not every company is going to say, go upskill because it benefits the company. So
you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Companies that are offering these things, the members on the ground, they're not always taking advantage of it, right?
I feel like never. Like, I've worked for companies that gave you $5,000 of education budget a year. Nobody takes advantage of that. So that's my first tip, is take advantage of that training budget. If your company says, we've got a budget for you, why aren't you using it? Sign up for a course, buy some books. Yeah.
Side note, there's an IRS rule. So if you're a business owner or a CEO, or you have influence to change the HR documents and policies and plans, you can add in to the plan this $5,250 budget, and it has to be applicable to all employees, but it's a tax write-off for the business.
Yeah.
So you can give your employees this benefit and this financial benefit to go upskill, and we'll just talk about the other things later, but you can give them this, and then you as a business get a write-off. Win.
100%.
Yeah, that's amazing. Right. But not all policies have that. Not everybody takes advantage of that. And what you're saying, which I love, is the responsibility, the onus is on you as the individual to take responsibility for it yourself.
100%. 100%. And the other choice is to be stagnant in your career, to not challenge yourself, to not keep your brain engaged, to not advance your career. I mean, you really keep yourself stuck unless you are spending some time on the clock, right? Or on the weekends, upskilling yourself.
Yep. Yeah. Grow or die, Lee.
Grow or die. But I didn't always do that in my career.
Nope.
I think young professionals, often just kind of wait for it to happen. And maybe you'll promote me or give me a stretch assignment, or maybe you'll send me to a conference, but don't ask for it or advocate for it or go for it.
Yeah, because it is two different things. Like, I don't want people to walk away just because the company has no money in the HR plan to proactively give you. And if your company isn't readily sending you or anybody in your company to conferences, what are all of the other ways in which we can upskill? Because this is a topic obviously very near and dear to my heart, as I help individuals climb the corporate ladder, get out of their own way, achieve better outcomes for their business, right? And ultimately seek more fulfillment, be more fulfilled in their jobs.
Right.
So in your opinion, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday. I've got 7 ways to upskill, and actually 8, because we already talked about conferences and using training budgets to go to, taking advantage of conferences if you can. Okay, so the first way is,
I'm going to take notes.
I know. I'll just give you my notes. The first way is to subscribe to industry newsletters or newsletters about your craft. So I subscribe to maybe like 8 content marketing newsletters, and I often read them. So subscribe to newsletters, read articles. Another thing, like in my industry, there's a great industry magazine called Multilingual that I read cover to cover. So if you're not getting a premier industry magazine, often that's expensible, in your job. So that's one. Subscribe.
Oh, that's all one. Yes.
That's one.
I'll never forget, like, my first job was in downtown Chicago working in this industry. And I rode the bus with my boss. We were on the same bus line. And I read Multilingual magazine and we would talk about it. Like, so hear what we're saying and think, maybe there's times in your career that you were doing these things and you didn't realize them. But yes, and I also love about your craft, right? So there's industry stuff, even if you're in our industry or not, like there's industry stuff you should learn, but there is, if you're a sales professional, if you're a marketing, if you're specifically a content marketer, if you're a vendor manager, like read things about your function area.
Your discipline. Sure. Yeah. So the education is twofold, your industry and your craft. I call it craft.
Love it.
Second one, books. Buy books. I love books. Love them. Maybe I'm old school, and you can buy it online and put it on your Kindle, but yes, buy books about your craft or about you can see my bookshelf, see it?
Yeah.
So that's my business bookshelf, and that's my travel bookshelf. That's my dream bookshelf, but there's business books. So I have like 8 books on content marketing, and I've read them all, and they're dog-eared, and I mark them up. I use them for LinkedIn posts. I use them for my strategy all the time. So I have learned a lot from books.
Yes. I think that this is a missed opportunity for a lot of people, because taking something that you read and regurgitating it in a platform like LinkedIn, you are actually remembering the thing that you read by teaching somebody else. And then you're sharing this knowledge.
And maybe you're putting your own spin on it. So no matter how you use that content, you're advancing your career. You're using it to build your brand. So yeah. And how much is a book? A book is like $15 to $25, and you can probably expense it if it's about your work. So this is not a heavy investment here.
Love it.
Books. Awesome. Books. And you've got a bookshelf behind you too. So online courses and Maven, Coursera. Courses can be expensive. Some for my craft are $1,000, like the Andy Crestodina course is $1,000. Buy the book instead of the course in that case, but some courses are worth it. And again, you could use your training budget for that. So if you're that kind of a learner, find the courses, take the course, get the certification.
Love it.
Yeah. 4, networking. Find the influencers, find the people online, find people that you admire who are either in the industry or peers in your craft, follow them, engage with their comments. Eventually, direct message them, hey, I really respect you for, or this really interested me. And 50% of the time you can develop a relationship and become kind of work peers.
Mm-hmm.
So networking is a huge way to expand your skills, and you're learning from other people, directly from other people.
Yeah, right. And everybody wants, like, if it's Lee, for example, and you're scared to reach out to Lee, Lee wants you to reach out to her. She'd be more than happy to like dedicate her time to even hopping on a call with you. I know I have done that a ton, right? And it's very easy to interact with everybody on the comments, like you were saying, on LinkedIn, for example, and really contribute to the conversation that one of these influencers is having, even if you don't understand or you have a differing opinion. You can ask the question or you could share that opinion.
Right. And learning will come of that. Right. I have learned so much from my year-long activity on LinkedIn, generated new ideas, developed my own take on things, and built some relationships with really smart people who I learn from every day. And so that's kind of organic, and it's actually really fun. I mean, interacting with smart people is really fun and fulfilling in a different way than reading a book. So
yeah.
Network. Number 5, ready?
Yes.
Volunteer.
Yes.
Find a way or an organization where you can volunteer to engage, maybe with a cool mission-driven organization using your skills. So for example, if I'm a writer and I have a passion for, I don't know, conservation, maybe I can find a nonprofit that will let me blog for them. Now, a lot of people in our industry are volunteering with women in localization. That's a good opportunity to meet people and upskill and become and use your skills.
It really is. Like, I found my job at NetApp because of women in localization. I've met lifelong friends because of women in localization. I've got closer to people who, for me, were historically like untouchables, right? Like, ooh, there's like, they are like really high up the food chain, and they are, yeah. And so organizations like that, man, like they give way more than you have to give. Like they give to you, you receive way more than you give, but there's plenty and plenty of opportunities, no matter the industry you're in, no matter their role. And the other thing about volunteering is, another way to look at it is stretch yourself into a capacity maybe that you aren't like so comfortable already in, right? I know, like, I don't know how to give it to an example, but maybe because I see that makes sense to you, right? Like, because it's an opportunity.
It's a volunteer stretch assignment. So you're like, I'm here, I'm free, I want to help you. Can I help you like with your social media? I'm learning, but I want to help you volunteer to up your game in social media. So, take me up on that and I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Love it.
Right? So are you ready for 6?
6.
Okay. Get feedback.
Yes.
Okay. Be open in asking for feedback. Don't be scared of feedback. I mean, a lot of us are scared of feedback. Like, I just want to kind of close my eyes and not hear what you have to say, but be confident enough to ask for feedback on your performance and get concrete suggestions about how to improve. And your boss will appreciate that. You can say, look, I finished this project. How do you think I did? Do you think I have any skills gaps?
Feedback is a gift, and it's hard to learn how to receive feedback. So I was in the BLIS, the Brazilian Language Industry Association webinar yesterday. I was giving a webinar on branding, personal branding, and actually I assigned it as a homework for everybody who was there, is to go ask for 3 pieces of feedback from different people. Go ask 3 different people for feedback, because it is an art to learn how to take this. Sometimes it is constructive, right? Also knowing how to give feedback.
Yeah. Also, right. And then you are helping somebody upskill when you say, look, you did a great job, but I think you have some skill gaps in SEO or whatever. Right. How else do you identify skill gaps? It's a little bit of a hunch on your part,
Yeah.
unless somebody says, to do this job better, I really think you should go learn paid media, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So the final one, ask for stretch assignments.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it
Mm-hmm.
follows on the heels of getting feedback. I want to learn. I see you've got this need on the X team. Can I contribute there? I'm looking for a stretch assignment. Here I am, use me. You won't get a stretch assignment unless you ask for it.
Yeah. Right.
No, you're not going to. Most companies and managers are just happy to let you keep, checking the boxes on the job you're currently doing.
Yeah, I actually, in my community, I coach people who are looking to climb the corporate ladder on how to, I consider it a two-prong approach in order to grow beyond your role, get the next raise, get the next title. Right. Half of it is what you do externally, building this thought leadership, and the other half is internally. And I say that when you are growing within your company, you have to see the opportunity for stretch assignments, like you're saying, and you have to ask for them, right? And you have to tell your boss constantly that you're also ready and willing for these when they come around. Right. What happened at my last employer is this platform, this program became available, right? And I immediately raised my hand and I asked my boss, hey, can I do this? A senior vice president was leading the initiative previously. And Mike's like, yeah, do you want to? Do you want to? Because it just fell on my lap, right? And I said, yes, if the business supports that, yes, I want to take this initiative on. And sure enough, then I managed that initiative. And it was a cross-functional initiative. I had to coordinate with marketing and operations. And that's often what you're seeing, right? When you're stretching with an assignment is you're getting out of your bubble.
Yeah.
And you're going to more of a cross-functional type situation, which gives you more visibility internally and you build better friendships and relationships and you get exposure to more people.
All true. So yeah, that stretch assignment might require a leap of confidence on your part that you can handle it, but there's huge benefits. Yeah.
Yeah. These are wonderful. This is great, Lee. I love this. And number 8 was the bonus, conferences.
Yeah, conferences. Absolutely. Yeah. And conferences are just fun, right? Like the food, the people, the music, all the things. A high energy conference can be really fun. So, and I'll give a 9. A 9 is the mental status. What do you call that? What do you call that? Just the mentality around it. And the mentality is your
mindset. Yeah.
Thank you, mindset. I can learn. I am capable of learning hard things. Right? Mindset. Yep. I'm capable of learning hard things, and that it's worth it, and that it's an investment in yourself.
I have a 10.
You have a 10. I mean, get rid of the imposter syndrome. You just go for it. If you want to advance in your career and make more money and do more fulfilling thing, put aside any thoughts that you can't do it.
Mindset's so important, really. Yeah. 10, mentors.
How could I forget mentors?
No, because your list was so good. Yes, but
that's around 10 mentors. Tell us about your experience with mentorship and mentees. And
yeah, I mean, it's part of my book. So in Be a Better Sales Leader, I broke it into 3 pillars. And the first pillar is all about asking for help and finding mentors. And then that third pillar is all about growing beyond your role and professional development, right? So in my experience, you have to ask for mentors, right? And often it could be a person in your organization, one level up, cross-functional to you, more than one level up. I know I had to ask my CEO to mentor me, and because he's a CEO, he was very busy, and so I had to ask him a few times, right? Because you had to overcome the fear of failure or rejection that maybe this person is ignoring me and they don't want to mentor me. But ultimately, then I have interviewed people through Women in Localization and just kind of throughout my career who there's been formal mentor programs in their companies. I'll never forget, somebody was telling me that was given a mentor. So she was being mentored, and this guy was like in a totally different department. And she's like, well, I don't know how this is going to work. But she thought, wow, what an amazing experience at the end of it, because he had different perspectives and a different take on things. And so that's my experience with mentors, is you have to ask the person, you have to respect their time then. And when it runs its course, it's run its course.
Sure.
But don't be only so narrow focused that you're looking like at who's in front of you or who makes the most sense. Try to stretch yourself to other people that you know in other departments or other roles or other companies who are where you're trying to go.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Okay, so let's go over the 10. Okay. Newsletters, magazines, so publications, books, there's my shelf, online classes that are paid, networking on LinkedIn, finding your peers and building those relationships. Volunteering was number 5. 6 was asking for candid feedback. 7 was asking for stretch opportunities. Forget what 8 was.
Conferences.
8 was conferences. What was 9?
What?
Mindset. And that's the word I had a hard time remembering. Yes, 9 is mindset and 10 is mentorship.
I love it.
Yeah. That's a lot. It's a lot of ways that you can upskill and improve skills. Yeah.
Yeah, this topic is so near and dear to my heart. I'm really grateful, Lee, for you and your time today, because I think we need to share this information. I think we need to share information like this over and over and over and over and over again, so that, you know, people hear it, because we do, I think ultimately, as we started off, we as individuals have to take responsibility and accountability for growing beyond our role, for upskilling.
It's on you. So some may be listening to this and thinking, oh, this applies to young professionals. And yes, it does. You know, it applies to people right out of college in their early career, but it also applies to millennials and Gen Xers, because I haven't reached the pinnacle of my knowledge yet. And if you think you have, well, you know, probably not. There's always something else to learn. Maybe that's point number 11. There's always something else.
Always be learning. Yes.
Always be learning. And like, even later in your career, to stop upskilling and to stop learning is only going to hurt you, unless you're retiring tomorrow. And you can stop learning the week before you retire.
But then what? I hope you have enough money for a yacht.
Yeah, but then what? I don't know.
Listen, Lee, I cannot believe how fast the time goes. So to wrap it up, tell us, I know you introduced yourself to my audience, people who don't know you, please connect with Lee, add her on LinkedIn, do the things that she suggested, do them with her on her posts, slide into her DMs. But let's just end with tell the world what type of work you're looking for right now. Like, how can we find projects and programs for you?
Thank you. Well, my main client is language services providers, and I help them build out content programs that drive awareness and generate leads. So if you are struggling with getting blogs written consistently, or getting ROI on your lead magnets, or a newsletter program, any of the things that comprise a content program, that's where I can help.
Lee is the best of the best.
Thank you.
Yes. It's been a privilege getting to know you over this past year, more so than we historically knew each other in the past.
Yeah.
But let me know how else my audience, my community on LinkedIn can support you. And we are here for you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah. My pleasure.
For your insights.
Cool.
Okay. Bye.